Welcome back from that break. And now Richard Orure, who is a political affairs analyst and a politician, joins me right in the studio to discuss this tax reform bill and also the Port Harcourt refinery. I know some of you are anticipating to it. Well, this is a good news and a very good one for Nigeria and Nigerians. It's glad to have you join me in the studio. Good evening and welcome.
It's my pleasure. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's get into the discussion because we are quite late. I want to get again. I know I've asked you this several times, but on this particular program, I haven't asked you this. What is your position on this tax reform bill that has divided the Senate? Some northern governors are saying no, the bill shouldn't go, while some persons are saying this bill is a very fantastic one that would, help the growth of Nigeria economy. So, but then I want to get exactly what your position is.
For the fact that the Senate is getting rowdy over the situation, it's not enough ground to say the tax reform is not a good idea. The best time for that reform to come on board is now. And why I say the best time for the reform to come on board is now is that if you look at Nigeria generally, you will see that we are having serious challenge in employment opportunity. There is so much the middle class. We have so much a population within the middle class, but there is no measure of economic buoyancy within the middle class. And when the majority of countries' middle class are poor, there is serious problem. And that is why you see that we are having crises everywhere. Because the middle class in Nigeria, the population is huge, and the level of poverty within that range is so high. And that's why you are seeing youth restiveness and all this crime that everywhere. So now this tax reform will, one, make states to become competitive in terms of foreign direct investment. Those of them that will now go outside the shore of the country to go and look for investors to come and invest in their states, they will do that. And the ones that will use the resources that they have been squandering to say, let me use these resources to invest in my state, industries. Before now, they say public enterprises, that they are not yielding any profit. But because they are saying that because they always come to the center to get funds for free, even when they are not contributing. To get funds for free. But now, if they go into that, if you go to America, states, they are so buoyant because there is this competition among them. Industries everywhere in almost all the states in America. They hardly have interest in the center because they have enough to cater for their citizens within the state level. But in Nigeria here, all the governors, they must come to center to get something done. And the tax reform bill is in line with what they called modernization theory. This theory of modernization is about industrialization. And modernization and democracy. Modernization theory, modernization is the grease that oil the wheel of democracy in any nation. There's no country that will say democracy survive here without modernization approach to governance. And modernization is about industrialization. You have to industrialize your state, your country. You have to industrialize your state to enable you have enough resources for your citizens to be employed, to be gainfully employed, for your citizens to have access to funds like China. I said it this morning. China, America saw that China was growing in population. The youth population in China was so huge, and Russia was doing something. Then America was using China to curtailing Russia. they now brought China into WTO, World Trade Organization, as a member. They became a member of WTO. You see China now going almost having free access to every countries of the world, spreading their product everywhere. There's so much production in America, in China. Almost every part of China they produce and selling it to the other part of the world. Almost the middle class in China, there is no one within the middle class in China that they are nowhere to do. And so they think rationally. They know what government is all about. They don't think on how to steal because they are producing on their own. When the tax reform bill is passed, the rowdiness in the Senate was caused by the Senate president.
Why did you say so?
The rowdiness in the Senate was caused by the Senate president because as a Senate president or as a senator, you don't have authoritative power to say you want to impose national bill that is about the people. You have to throw it back to them. He refused to do that. He went ahead for the hearing to take place. First hearing, second hearing. A sensitive bill like this that you are seeing dust being raised from different parts of the country and even within your members. But
then we've still seen controversies even after the bill has been passed, has gone for second reading.
Yes, because it did not. The rowdiness in the Senate, was there any rowdiness like that in the House of Reps? There was nothing of such in the House of Reps because the Speaker, who is a PhD holder, no by honorary, PhD that went to the class, he read, he researched.
So are you saying because Akpabio is not a PhD holder? That's
see, look, research. No country survive developmentally
without research.
America, even India, they rely so much on research. PhD, professorship, all this PhD, they are not something that you go to school to get because you want to get promotion. It's only in Nigeria that people go to school to acquire PhD for promotion in the office. In other country, they went to school for PhD to help their country, to help develop their country. And that is what the speaker is portraying. He said this bill is not so. Yes, we have been voted here to take decision on behalf of our constituent. But for this bill, let us throw it back to them. Despite we have the power to take decision on their behalf, let them contribute, let them have their say. That is why he said they should go for public hearing.
Okay.
They will pick their opinions and we know it. Pick their opinions, we know the opinions. Then they will not merge and know what to do. Then take final decision on behalf of the people from what they will hear them say. But Akpabio refused to go for public hearing until the pressure was much before he suspended the bill. He suspended it, not that they say they have stamped it to say it's no more again. No, they suspended the hearing so that it will go on public hearing. After public hearing, they'll come back to it again, but it has gone through first reading and second reading. But for now, they have suspended it, and he has set up a committee headed by Senator Abba Patrick Moru from Benue State. He's the chairman of the committee to harmonize everything, bring all the senators together for them to see why, the how and why of the bill, this tax reform, then report back to the Senate. Because now Abba Moru is the minority leader. He is seen to be neutral, and that is why they have chosen him as the chairman of that committee. Because now it's about dialogue, now it's about negotiation. And since it's about dialogue and negotiation, if you don't bring a neutral body, because this bill is coming from the presidency, and the presidency is the leader of APC today in Nigeria. So if you bring somebody from that party to lead that committee, most people who are already aggrieved over what is going on in the Senate, they will not see you as the chairman of that committee to be neutral. They will see you as somebody who is sitting,
who can be influenced,
who is sitting on a case that is his own. But now that they are using somebody that is neutral, that seems to be neutral. He is from the opposition, PDP. So he will be seen to be neutral in everything that will go on in the committee. So now is damage control that the Senate President is doing. Because he took it wrongly from the first stage.
Okay.
And the Speaker of the House of Rep took it right.
So
and that's why you see it going on smoothly in the House of Rep.
Are you trying to say these controversies wouldn't have come up at all in the Senate?
Within the Senate, yes. They are all matured. When they go through the bill, they will know the reasons for this. And most of them, they see the governors in Nigeria. The Constitution gave them so much power that even your senator, if you say your senator will not return, your senator will not return.
Will not return, yes.
If you say your House of Rep member will not return, they will not return.
That be it.
Because as the Constitution gave them so much power, they have so much money within their reach, and again they control the party machinery within the state as well. During party primary, they control everything. So within the primary, they can kick you out. So for that fear, if your governor is saying, all of you from my state, I don't want you to support this bill, you get it. They will be afraid. If you go against the decision of your governor, you hear Borno State governor, he came live to say they are not in support of the bill, the tax reform bill. Any state that is against this tax reform, you are against development. That is the truth.
Okay, viewers, at this point our phone lines are now open.
You are against development. Tax reform is the best thing that will happen to us now.
But then again, I want to ask, haven't seen the impact in this tax reform bill, and still some people are still opposing it. What do you think is the reason behind the opposition, despite the economic impact this bill tends to bring?
It's politics. Sure, definitely. Some states will have large chunk of the sharing at the end of the day, more than other states. States like Lagos, they have so much industries. States like Port Harcourt, there are so many industries within Port Harcourt. Even states like Kano, they have so much industries. So they will contribute more to the center. And as they contribute more, they will gain more in sharing. So that one will not put other states that are just that I call them free riders. It will put them on the high jump for them to see how they will spring up industries within their states that will enable them generate income. Before, they call it internally generated revenue. The ones they generate, they eat it, swallow it, everything. They don't bring to center, but they still come to center to share, to be part of the sharing from few states. Internally generated revenue. No state that is not generating revenue. Despite it's not much. But they don't bring it to the center. But other states has been generating huge, and they are bringing it to the center, sharing to everybody. 36 states of the federation plus FCT, just like 4 or 5 states feeding everybody. Now they say all the states should contribute to the center, and the higher your contribution, the higher your sharing. The lower your contribution, the lower your sharing. You get it? So
okay. Still, some people who are opposing the bill made emphasis about the timing. A lot of them made emphasis about the timing. It's not a proper time.
There is no proper time for any. There is no proper time for any hard decision of government, and it takes a leader to be decisive in certain things. If you don't take this decision, what time will be ripe? Will be the best time to take this decision? What time?
Whereas they're trying to make emphasis about the economic realities.
Which economic reality? The economic reality is even the best time, because if this tax reform bill is being passed, middle class business people, they'll be exempted from paying tax. Presently now they are paying. And that is why the economy is even so harsh. Because they are paying tax now from the little they are doing. If you go to the rural communities, even women with tomatoes in the local market, local government go all round taking tax from them, revenue from them. But once this tax reform bill is passed, some of those things will stop immediately. And you see the middle class, the lower income earners, all these small scale business owners, you see them becoming big overnight because there is nothing to stretch them. Say you pay tax after the little you have gathered, you pay. No, there will be nothing like tax again because your earning is not up to what will make you to pay tax to government. Whatever you gain is your own completely. It's those of them that have gone to the level of maturity that will be paying to government.
Right.
They have eaten enough and they have to pay out of what they have been eating to government. But some of us who are
small
scale business owners who will not pay.
Good evening.
It's the best.
If you can hear me, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead with your contribution. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Aliyu.
Sorry, please, you have to speak up.
Aliyu, my case here.
Okay, Aliyu. All right. Please go ahead.
So this, I just want to get enough time, so that I can talk more.
There will be no enough time.
Please just go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, you might have to call us back. Then I just wanted to get your position on this on these tax reform bills, precisely on this show, because I know you've talked about it several times on this platform. But then let's talk about the Port Harcourt refinery. We woke up 2 weeks ago or so to hear that Port Harcourt refinery is working. It has kicked off production, and that seems to be good news for Nigerians. But a lot of people are still saying, okay, how come it hasn't reflected on PMS? But that aside, I want to get your reaction on this development.
This
Port Harcourt refinery, yes.
You know, for some time now, Nigerians have been asking questions that so much has gone down to the Port Harcourt refineries generally in Nigeria. We have staff that are being paid from government purse, but there is nothing coming from that department. So much trillions injected into our moribund refineries, and now that the backlash from Nigerians is becoming too much, they have to go and do something for it to pick up. And that is why you see them they went for that propaganda that day.
Okay.
I can call it propaganda. In political science, we don't joke with propaganda. Yes. Any politician, any political scientist that wants to succeed, you must not do without propaganda. They use media enough for propaganda. What they are saying is different from what is in their mind. And what they are showing you is different from what is on ground. You get it? So if you go deep into that refinery, you will see that they have not completely fixed the place.
But so far, okay, please give me a moment. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good evening. Oh, hello, good evening. If you can hear me, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Glad to have you on the show. Your name and where you're calling us
from. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
It's S.A. Umar calling from Bauchi.
All right, Umar from Bauchi.
I really congratulate you for bringing up this issue.
Thank you.
Yes. The issue of this tax reform, nobody is against it.
Okay.
Nobody. Nobody is against it. But the manner and method, the way they are implementing it, that is no problem.
Okay.
No, it's not quite wrong that people have suffered from this withdrawal of petroleum subsidy. Issue of electricity bill, increasing the bill of electricity, and even the inflation itself is another problem. So if you want to bring a reform, you need to subsidize it. You need to do it gradually, so that, because the impact of these subsidies that are being withdrawn is still with the people now. People are trying to manage their lives. Believe you me, if you go to the road now, from Bauchi to Abuja, you see it just like a football field. You will see very few vehicles on the road. It's not good for the country. So this subsidy is need to be implemented gradually.
Okay.
It's taking with sustaining the people and making them understand that this thing is really for the good of the people and the country itself.
Okay.
And the problem country is once you see what happened during Abacha regime, when petroleum era or something.
Okay.
People have seen it on ground, but I'm telling you, with this kind of regime, that people are not, they don't have the opinions of the people at heart. They are not going to use anything with that money.
All right.
They will just be buying airplanes and buying vehicles for Mr. President.
All right.
And it's so good. So thank you. That's my take for
Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, you were saying something before I.
His opinion, yes, I align myself with his opinion, because ordinarily they are supposed to sensitize the people, which is the work of National Orientation Agency.
Okay.
Like they said, it took them like 6 months or how many months to prepare this tax reform bill, to put it together before presenting it to National Assembly. That period that they are cooking it, that they are arranging it, they are yes, they are supposed to follow it up with media education, educating Nigerians using Igbo language, using Hausa language, using Yoruba language, using English language, to talk to Nigerians about tax reform, even if they don't want to disclose their intention. They are supposed to use another means of educating the public about it, so that Nigerians will know anytime they bring it out, like they have brought it out now, it won't be new to anybody again, and all this argument wouldn't have at all arising at all.
Yes.
So education, public education is better, is good. And in democracy, once you shrink information from the people, you are calling for anarchy. Information is key in democracy. And what the people are shouting now is because they have no information about what is going on. Properly informed. That is the problem. That is the problem. And that is why you see that rowdiness in the Senate.
All right.
The masses, the people we are representing, they have not been informed of this. We have to take this information back to them, since you have refused to let them know. You are just informing us. We cannot be here and just start and do this. No. Let us take it to them. Since you have failed to letting them know about it, we will let them know. We can call for stakeholders meeting in our various constituencies. All of them from a different senatorial district. They can call for a stakeholder meeting of their senatorial district to tell them. They can even print the bill and share to everybody to go and study, then fix another meeting again to come back to analyze it before they will come back to the Senate to give them the feedback from their people. So that is democracy is a continuous dialogue. You can't define democracy as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Democracy.
But that's the definition we are giving.
No, that one is a democracy is a process, continuous dialogue.
Right. And
the dialogue is targeted in giving dignified life to the people. Every discussion you are discussing in democracy is about giving good life for the people. Good life. Nothing more than that.
All right. We have.
And that is why even your constitution is not rigid.
Hello.
It can be changed anytime.
Hello. Good evening.
To suit the interests of the people.
Glad to have you join us on the show. Good evening.
David calling you from Ogun State.
Okay. Please go ahead, Idris.
My contribution to the issue on ground is a very good development for Nigerians.
Okay.
Because I, David, am from Niger Delta. You cannot expect first state in Nigeria be feeding the whole nation.
Okay.
So at least it's better, it's a very good idea from the president.
All right.
So it's a very good thing. So let us be getting from all the states and see what Nigeria can change.
All right. Thank you very much.
All states supposed to be dependent for your state, not be depending on one particular state.
All right.
Because at the end of the month, they still give them money again. So what is the benefit?
All right.
So it's better. It's a very good idea.
All right. Thank you very much for your
like he said, if not for laziness, there is no state in Nigeria that doesn't have mineral. If you go to Jos, some part of Nasarawa, they have magnesium.
All right,
and this magnesium is what Chinese people, they use for atomic bomb. They are taking it for free to their country.
Town hall meeting has been held, and I think public hearing is still going on. So we are just going to keep our fingers crossed to see what makes the life of this be the end of this tax reform bill. But let's get back to the Port Harcourt refinery, which we are talking now. Talking about the operation, you said
It was a propaganda.
It was a propaganda.
Yes, I don't think it's properly fixed yet. I don't think it's properly fixed. But for the fact that it's producing,
at least it has started producing.
It's a good development.
Don't you think Nigerians should at least feel the impact of it? But again, I want to ask you.
The impact of it is that the oil marketers, we don't know where they are getting fuel from, but Dangote is there. Now Port Harcourt, NNPCL say there's Port Harcourt now refinery that is producing fuel. Okay, they still go across to get fuel from another source. That is why most filling stations now in Nigeria, they have fuel, but the prices differ.
Haven't changed.
Yeah, no, the price differs because from the source you are getting your own will tell you how much you sell.
Okay, then talk to us about the sustainability of this Port Harcourt refinery. I want to ask you these two questions at the same time because we are out of time. Then talking about one, tell me what you think is the sustainability. Again, we've seen the power sector being privatized, and as at last week, it was just you and I who were discussing about the Senate, utterance or opposition about it. Many people have come to say, okay, since the federal government cannot manage these refineries, it should be privatized. So please take these two questions, the sustainability and privatization of these refineries. What is your thought, or what do you make out of it?
From this tax reform, there is nothing like privatization again. Privatization in any nation is World Bank and IMF agenda. You must privatize all public institutions, public owned organizations that instead of you injecting government fund into private these public enterprises, you sell it off, you privatize them, because they have to manage them like business entity. And that is why Port Harcourt refinery, the sustainability is there. Because even NNPC now is not a public enterprise anymore.
So you're saying the sustainability is there?
Yeah, the sustainability is there because it's like they are running it like business. They don't care about you, serving you again. NNPC is no longer your property. It's limited now. It's a business entity. So what they are after now is how to make profit.
Exactly.
And for the fact that they are out to make profit, they will equally be raising shoulders with businessmen like Dangote, and that is what they have been doing. They even want to cripple Dangote because they have the plan of coming up on their own, so that they will monopolize the system. But Dangote, Nigerians said Dangote must stand, and Dangote now stand. NNPC said they have equally come up too. So there will be competition, and once there is competition in that direction, there will be no one among them that will monopolize the system, the oil sector. Okay. So if there will be no monopoly within the oil sector, then you have the right to go to NNPC and buy fuel. I have the right to go to Dangote and buy fuel. Anywhere I can get my fuel from, I go and buy. And from where I get my fuel from will tell me how much I will sell. So no one individual will have that monopolistic tendency to say, I am deciding the price. Like Dangote started earlier, deciding the price for Nigerians. Okay. So now it will not be there. The sustainability will be there. Except NNPC, the people managing it, they are not business oriented. If they have that business mentality, because they are taking salary from government and they are managing NNPC as a business, the best thing is to flush them out and bring in new people who have business mentality to manage the sector. That is the best way to go. People that have business minds, like you pick them from either NNPC, CBN, you pick them from agric department, Ministry of Agriculture, where they have Bank of Agriculture and all those people that have business sense. Even some of these federal government ministries, agencies that have that business mentality, like Ministry of Trade and Investment, you pick experts from such areas to go and manage NNPC. This crop of people there in NNPC now, they have that civil service mentality that I can say they have formed a cartel. Even some of them that have reached the stage of retiring, they are trying to increase their age so that they increase their time so that they will still be there to be taking money unnecessarily and corrupting the system. Everyone within the NNPC, federal government, if they want NNPC to be sustained, what is going on in the Port Harcourt now to be sustained. They should flush all of them out and inject new blood.
You mean remove the managing board?
Flush every one of them out. Flush them out. All this old crap.
So you think they are incompetent, eh?
They are not competent. They are competent. We will be talking about NNPC, not refinery, not working, all this. Why? If they are competent, there's no competence in them now. They don't have the capacity.
They're incompetent.
Yes, they are very, very incompetent.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's the force now from Nigeria that is making them to do this.
Okay.
Picking 1 or 2 persons from India, experts from India, to come and say, let us see that if we turn it on, Nigeria will see that oil is coming up. So, it's propaganda.
Propaganda, your word. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Richard. I must say thank you for coming and being with me in the studio this evening. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well,
I am honored.
This is where we wrap it up on today's episode on Spotlight with Mercy. I'll keep watching Kaftan Television, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have yourself a wonderful evening.